Welcome again, new Cottage Talk. I am Russ Goldman. This is my preview of Fulham's match on Sunday against Liverpool at Anfield. It is my 5 keys to victory for Fulham against Liverpool. Not many people will be picking Fulham to get anything in this match. Well, I'll make my prediction later on in this episode, and I'm going to give you my 5 keys for victory for Fulham against Liverpool. Anything is possible. I'm going to give you my keys. As always, please do subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. It does help other Fulham supporters find us. So let's get to it. Let's start, before we go and talk about the Liverpool match, one last look at the Wolves' victory. And a lot has been said about this victory for Fulham since they won on Monday Night Football. And most of it happens to involve VAR, all the controversy that goes along with it, the thoughts of the Wolves supporters, Gary O'Neill. There's been a lot of talk about all that. I understand all that. I have respect for Gary O'Neill. I have respect for all the Wolves supporters. What I don't have respect for is the lack of respect for Fulham Football Club. What I mean by that, calls go for you, go against you. It happens to all clubs. All clubs run into situations, okay? VAR has been a positive and a negative probably for all clubs. I can't say that for certain. So for me, the complaining about VAR, every club can complain about VAR. Every club can look and probably find multiple situations where they feel that they got it wrong, okay? And that's fair. That's all fair. But in the end, Fulham deserved to win the match. They were the better side. They were absolutely the better side. So for those Wolves supporters who are still complaining about this match, I'll just ask you this question. Did Wolves deserve to win the match? Because I don't think they deserve to win the match. Maybe you can make the argument because of all of the controversial calls that you could have gotten a point. But Fulham did more than enough, in my opinion, to win the match. So they deserve all 3 points. So are they fortunate in several of these situations? Yes, I'm not going to lie about that. Of course they are. But I've seen the reverse in other matches go against Fulham. So for me, I'm going to take all 3 points and I'm going to just put it in the bank that Fulham are now at 15 points and should not feel bad about being on 15 points. I'll just say it that. And I have nothing to say badly about Wolves. I wish them the best the rest of the season, except when they play Fulham the next time around. Obviously, I want Fulham to win. They're a good side. Fulham deserved to win the match. And that's going to do it with my thoughts on this Wolves victory. Enough with the complaining. Can we just move on? Because that's all it's been. There's not been enough focus on the fact that Fulham won the match. And that's where I want to leave it. So let's move on from that. Let's talk a little bit about Liverpool before I go into my 5 keys to victory. And I will say this about Liverpool. I know many Liverpool supporters over the years. Many of them are actually Patriots fans. So I got to know several Liverpool supporters, and I actually wish them well. I do wish them well. If I wanted a club to win the league that obviously wasn't Fulham, Liverpool would be that club probably. Maybe Arsenal too, but I just don't want to see Manchester City win it again. So I would be for Liverpool or, like I mentioned, Arsenal. So I have nothing against Liverpool. I understand them a little bit. They remind me a lot about the Red Sox. It's same ownership. So I do understand Liverpool. I think they have a very good side this season. So I think it's going to be difficult for Fulham to go to Anfield and get all 3 points, but I do think it's possible. The major reason I feel that way, I'll be talking about during the show, but it comes down to Fulham's manager, who I know will set them up correctly to win the match. Not to get a draw, but to win the match. So that's what gives me just a little bit of hope. It starts with the manager setting his team up for victory. We'll see what happens. The only other thought I want to talk about on Liverpool is this. Liverpool made a decision, and I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to keep talking about this, to sign Fabio Carvalho. And I think Fabio Carvalho still has a bright future in football. He goes to Liverpool, plays sparingly last season, played a little bit, but not enough, and now gets sent out on loan to RB Leipzig. And let's be honest, he's not playing that much there. So I think when I look back at it, how badly did Liverpool want the player, or actually just win the deal because he was a hot commodity at the time? I'm asking the question because if they thought of him so highly, why is he on loan at RB Leipzig instead of playing with Liverpool? Game time? Okay, I can buy that a little bit, but I know Liverpool, they're going to continue to bring in players at his position. And I think his time at Liverpool is going to come to an end soon. And that, to me, is unfortunate. A player that I still believe has a bright future, in my opinion, made a bad decision by going to Liverpool. Made just a bad decision for himself. But hopefully, in the end, his career can take off at some point. I just don't see it at Liverpool. I understand why they went after him, but I think by sending him out on loan is basically just pushing him aside instead of backing him and giving him a chance to compete and play with Liverpool this season. I think he is a huge talent. And I think after the season's over, I think Liverpool should really sell Fabio Carvalho and just say, listen, it didn't work, and move on from him. And I'm going to say it right now. If I'm Fulham, I would be all in for bringing Fabio Carvalho back to Fulham, back to playing at Craven Cottage. Yes, you can go home again. I know people want to just say no to that. I want Fabio Carvalho back at Fulham Football Club. I just don't think it's worked out at Liverpool. Enough of that. Let's now go to my 5 keys to victory. And let's start with number 5. And when I look at Liverpool, like I said, I've watched Liverpool. I really was impressed by what I saw against Newcastle United. That was a tough match, that situation. They showed some real heart and determination in the way they played in that match. So I understand what Fulham have to go up against. It's a high-quality club. Let's just leave it at that. But I think what Fulham need to do, and what Marco probably has done, is to look back at the past. Look back at last season. Look back at that match at Craven Cottage, the approach that Fulham had. Number 5 is apply what you learned from the draw last season against Liverpool. I think this is huge. Look at that. Take what worked, look at what didn't work, and apply it in this match. Now, they played Liverpool at Anfield last season. I think they took some of those cues from the last time. I think they need to do it again because there is a blueprint for Fulham now to play against Liverpool. Apply it in this match and see where it takes you. Yes, there is no Mitro, but there's a way to play against Liverpool. You really just did a nice job. Even at Anfield, you did a nice job last season in that match. Didn't go your way, but you were very competitive against Liverpool at Anfield. There's no reason why you can't again. Look at the past and apply what you learned. That's my number 5. Number 4, and Liverpool supporters probably don't want to hear this because they probably would want this player. But number 4 is Paulinho needs to have a man-of-the-match performance. And I think that goes without saying. If he can control central midfield, I think it gives Fulham a platform to build on. He did this last season at Craven Cottage. He is Fulham's best player. He is key to everything that they do. If he is at the top of his game, Fulham have a chance not just to get something from this match, but maybe even win this match. It really could come down to Paulinho's play. And I think he's going to be ready to go, and I expect him to potentially have this type of match. Let's see if he does. I think Fulham need that. Number 3, I keep on going back to that match at Craven Cottage because this is where I'm getting some of my ideas for my 5 keys. Number 3 is this. Anthony Robinson has to be at an elite level going against Mo Salah. Now, Anthony Robinson did a great job at Craven Cottage last season, but anyone that has watched Fulham this season have seen a lot of ups and downs from Jedi. And when Jedi is good, Jedi can be, I think, an elite left back. When Jedi is bad, he is a liability. So they need the former than the latter because you're going up against, I think, one of the best in the world in Mo Salah. If he can control Mo Salah, Fulham have a chance to get all 3 points. I'm putting a lot of pressure on Jedi, but he needs to step up to the plate. Anthony Robinson is a huge key in this match for Fulham against Liverpool. Number 2, I think this is going to be massive. Marco needs to get his starting 11 spot on for this match. Now, when I look back at some of the opponents Fulham have played recently of high quality, I'm going to put Aston Villa in there. I will also mention Tottenham. And there are some similarities here. Fulham have struggled in the first half. And I think part of it might have to do with selection. Maybe a little bit has to do with the player's approach. But I think it's important for Fulham to get off on the right foot here. And Marco needs to get his starting 11 right. I've got some thoughts on that when I break down what I think I would do with the starting 11, what I think Marco's going to do. But I think this is very important for in the future when we get to that. I'm going to be focusing a lot on the center back pairing because I think that's going to be key. He needs to get this right, but he needs to get all the positions right in that starting 11. Coming up next is my number 1 key to victory for Fulham against Liverpool. My starting 11, my thoughts on what I think Marco's going to do with his starting 11, and my prediction for the match. Okay. My number 1 key to victory for Fulham is I think they're going to struggle to score goals as they have in most matches. And I think one of the things Fulham have really not been at their best this season has been on set pieces. So I generally say Fulham need to create a lot of scoring chances on set pieces. I'm going a little bit different here. My number 1 key to victory, Fulham need to score a goal or potentially 2 on set pieces. They have simply not had the play from their striker that they need, the goals from their striker. They're going to need to score on set pieces. I truly believe that to actually win this match. They're going to need the deliveries to be spot on, whether it's Pereira, Willian, or maybe Harry Wilson. Whoever delivers them, they need to be spot on, and they need to be scoring on set pieces. It's going to be difficult for Fulham against Liverpool, and I think this is how they're going to have to do it. They're going to have to create scoring chances to get set pieces, and then they're going to have to score on 1 or 2 to get all 3 points. That's the way I'm looking at it. Okay, let's go to what I would do with my starting 11. Like I said, this is probably going to be different than what Marco's going to do. I'm going with Leno, Castagna, Robinson. This is where I'm probably going to be different. I'm going to go with Tosin and I'm going to go with Bassi. I'm going to go with Paulinho. I'm going to go a little bit out of the norm for right now, but I'm going to say I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to go to with Paulinho, Kearney, Iwobi. Yeah, I'm really shaking it up. I'm going on the right, Harry Wilson. On the left, Willian. Jimenez up front. That's my starting 11. Now, this is what I think Marco's going to do. I think he's going to go Leno, Castagna, Robinson, Bassi, Ream. I think he will go Reed, Paulinho, and Pereira. I think he might go Iwobi on the right, Willian on the left, and Jimenez up front. Personally, I think he needs to sit Pereira. That's why I'm going Iwobi. I think he needs to sit Tim Ream. That's why I'm going Bassi and Tosin. Love Tim Ream. Tremendous player for Fulham over his career. It's time to sit Tim Ream and start the partnership for right now of Bassi and Tosin. It'll eventually be Bassi and Diop. But that's what I would do. I think right now Tim Ream is a liability, and if I'm Liverpool, I am looking at that left-hand side. I'm attacking Robinson and Ream. That's where I'm going. So I think Fulham need to sit Tim Ream. I absolutely do. I might do something that my friend Tony Gold suggested, sitting Robinson and playing Ballatore. I might do that. There's no way Marco does that. So I gave you what I would do and what I think Marco's going to do. We'll see how this all plays out. All right, let's end with a prediction for this match. I'm going out on a limb. I'm probably going to be the only one that's going to do this, and I don't care because it's my show. I'm the host of Cottage Talk. I do have a lot of co-hosts, so I can pick whatever I want. And I have a feeling that Fulham are going to be taken lightly by Liverpool, and I think Fulham have a chance to get all 3 points. I'm going for the upset. I'm going 2-1 to Fulham. I can't believe I'm saying it, but yes, I'm going for the upset. I think Fulham are ready to win this match at Anfield. No one's going to predict this. Why not me? So I'm predicting the upset, 2-1. It's just a feeling. I gave you my 5 keys to victory. It's possible. No one, and I mean no one's going to pick Fulham. I'm on an island probably by myself, and I don't care. It's an island I want to be on. 2-1 to Fulham. Okay, and that's going to do it for this episode of Cottage Talk. As always, please do subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. It does help other Fulham supporters find us. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. My name is Russ Goldman. Thank you as always for watching and listening to Cottage Talk, part of the talkSPORT Fan Network.